Most days it seems as if there are as many cars out on the roads and streets as there were in our pre-pandemic life. That also means there are just as many drivers running red lights. Denver 7's Katie LaSalle chatted with AAA's Skylar McKinley recently and learned just how widespread this problem is and what you can do to protect yourself and your insurance rates.
Skylar, how often do Colorado drivers run red lights?
You know, anecdotally, because of what I do for a living, friends tell me every time they see someone run a red, and I hear about it a lot. In fact, when you talk to people who are new to Colorado, a lot of the time they'll say, wow, I'm so shocked by how often people run red lights. We looked into the data. Per our analysis, Colorado is number 6 per capita in fatalities caused by red light runners. That's fundamentally dangerous behavior, and it's driving up insurance costs. In 2020, Colorado for the first time was ranked in the top 10 states with the most dangerous drivers by CarInsuranceComparison.com. And it's part of the reason it's these crashes caused by red light runners. Per our research, 28% of crash deaths that occur at an intersection are the direct result of a driver blasting through a red light. What's interesting is that nearly half of those killed in those crashes are passengers or people in other vehicles. More than 5% are pedestrians or cyclists. The real problem here is that only 35% of those killed are the drivers who actually made the bad decision to run the red. So the bottom line is that running a red light isn't harmless. It's going to have devastating consequences on your community. Fully 86% of drivers in our survey say it's dangerous and I would never ever do it. And yet 31% admit to doing it regularly. There's absolutely no good reason to run a red, and really there are lives on the line.
Absolutely. And this may be an obvious question, but what can people really do to stay safe?
Yeah, first and foremost, never run a red. If you're approaching a yellow, slow down, prepare to stop. You know, in Colorado, folks believe that the yellow means speed up. It doesn't. It means slow down, come to a stop. It's tempting to gun it, just don't. When you're entering any intersection, be prepared to stop. That means lifting your foot off the accelerator and covering the brake, just in case someone has blown through a red and you have to react really quickly. Make sure you monitor stale green lights, those that have been green a long time, as you approach the intersection. There's a good chance that might turn and you might have to stop. When you're approaching a red, tap your brakes a couple times before you apply them fully to slow down. That's going to put your brake lights on and can catch the attention of drivers who might not be paying attention.
Finally, what does all of this mean from an insurance perspective?
Yeah, so unsafe drivers cause crashes, and crashes increase what we all pay for insurance. Some drivers' tendency to blow through a red is one reason why you're paying more than you were a couple of years ago. It's just bad behavior. So how do we lower rates? Well, be a safe driver, abide by all traffic laws and signals. By the way, if you do that, you may be eligible for a discount. Beyond that, if you take a couple minutes to work with a local agent, you'd be surprised at how much you can save. I say this every time, but the more time you invest with a professional to evaluate your insurance, the more you're going to save, and that can help ameliorate some of these rising costs due to bad actors elsewhere on the roads. We can help you find a good agent at AAA.com/life in Colorado, and that's really everything you need to know what red lights and all about living in Colorado.
Thank you both.